Well, in the last couple of days, if you've been watching the news on television, they've been talking to you about, a potential new casino could be coming to the Auburn area. That's on I-69 State Road 8, right there in that northwest corner. They said, boy, that would be one of the perfect locations to move a casino. Now we're talking about the casino down there, the Rising Star, or the Rising Sun, rather. Yeah, the Rising Star Casino. This is down there in southern Indiana, which is doing terribly. Sorry, it is. They're being beaten up by the casinos over there in Ohio and Cincinnati area. All right. As you know, last year, the Rising Star people said, hey, we want to come up to New Haven, Indiana, and build a fabulous casino right there, 469, just outside of New Haven, $500 million. And they showed you all the designs, the layouts, everything, how it's going to be. Well, it's wonderful. No politician in this area would get behind it. Not one. So a politician from down there in Huntington introduced it into the state. Trouble is, it never got a hearing because the head of the hearing said, no, we're not going to hear that. Well, ultimately, then a new commission was appointed. A new law was actually created to appoint a new commission. So, state of Indiana went with a group called Spectrum Gaming Group. Now, Spectrum Gaming Group is an independent organization that goes out and searches great places to put a casino to earn whomever it is money. And the big money they're talking about is called AGR, Annual Gaming Revenue. That's the big money. Keep that in mind. That's the one thing everybody talks about, AGR. Who's going to get the most AGR? All right, so this commission goes around and looks at 4 places in the state of Indiana and picks 4 spots out and says, well, okay, here's the 4. Here's one right there in Auburn, Indiana. There's one over there north of Lafayette. Another one on the east side of the state, and then one in the final one was in Indianapolis. Yes, Indy, Auburn, Lafayette, and one on the east side of the state. Well, they said, okay, looking at who's going to make the most money, the AGR. Remember I talked about? Well, it turns out they said only 2 places. 2 places earned the most amount of moolah for the state. One was in Auburn, the second one, and the biggest money maker was down in Indy. They said that's where the money is going to be made, the biggest amount of money of these 4 locations. Now, a representative from the state, I believe he's from Leo, he came out and said, hey, I understand what they want to do. Dr. Tyler Johnson. He said, we don't want this in Auburn. We don't want a casino. But there's another issue they have to deal with. The Indians have an exclusive area. It's called the Tribal Gaming Exclusivity. It is 14, or make that 16 counties. Now, here's the map. You can take a look at it. 16 counties in northern Indiana where you can't put another casino. The Indian Casino in South Bend they've got the exclusive right to all this. And you'll notice the Auburn one is right there on the outside edge of that 16 county territory. Well, that would mean competition between South Bend's casino and one if you built one in Auburn. But if you go down farther down the state, whether it's in now Lafayette, by the way, also gets near that line. Take a look, Lafayette, where it is. All right, the one that's perfect, right there in Indianapolis. Yep, they said, gaming-wise, most moolah we're going to see will come to Indianapolis. Now, you hear all the people on the news, oh my God, Auburn could get a casino. Ain't going to happen. Don't kid yourself, folks. I've been telling you this for the last year and a half. When they're moving a casino, where it's going to go is right into downtown Indy, because there's an empty shopping center downtown, Circle Center it's called. Circle Center Mall was originally a great idea for a mall. I mean, they had all the stores in it, multi-levels, huge parking facility, had rampways that go to hotels over the street. And perfect. Trouble is, people didn't shop there. People didn't want to come downtown to Indianapolis and go through the traffic and everything else, even though there's great parking and everything, and the shop down there. And then kids started coming in, and taking over the place. And children, you get them in a group, you're going to have some problems. And they did. Well, ultimately, people moved out of the mall. The mall became kind of, empty. Well, now they want to rebuild that mall, and they're saying that they're going to spend $500 million to rebuild that mall. Well, where are they going to get $500 million? Well, it turns out the Rising Star Casino down there in southern Indiana said when they're coming to New Haven, they're going to spend $500 million. Wait a minute. So Indy says we're going to spend $500 million. The Rising Star Casino says, hey, we're going to New Haven, we're going to build $500 million. They both are saying the same number. So not going to build in New Haven, obviously. And they sure as heck ain't going to build up in Leo or up in Auburn because politicians up there want nothing to do with it. And there's a problem there being close to the exclusive area the Indian tribe has. So they're going to say, well, we researched everything, we checked everything out, and we've decided the most amount of money that you're going to get in the state of Indiana for the tax purposes will go to one area. And we believe the area is Indianapolis. And they're going to say, well, where can we put it in Indianapolis? And there was a rumor a long time ago putting it out by the airport. Ain't going to work. You want to have it downtown because what do you have downtown? Lucas Oil Stadium, the baseball field. You got the WNBA's new facility there. You got the Gamebridge Field House. You got all those sporting activities, everything happening downtown Indy. And if you want to bring people in, you say, hey, we're going to have a football game, a basketball game, baseball game, whatever it is. Oh, I'm sorry, you forgot to mention, and you have Caitlin Clark, who's also the star of the Indy Fever for the time being. All those people, they got to have something new in the gaming on, right? The gaming on gambling. And Marion County in Indiana, which is Indianapolis, has got a huge financial problem, and I mean a big one. They are in debt up to their eyeballs. I need fresh revenue because people are moving out of Marion County and moving into the counties outside there. I know because a relative of mine lives outside of Marion County, but works inside of Marion County. Now, so you get a casino, city gets a cut of the deal, they get money, bolsters their budget, which they desperately need, and then more revenue comes into the state, which they desperately want, and they realize the Rising Star Casino down in southern Indiana, the amount of money they're making was a pittance compared to what could be made annual gross revenue. Gaming revenue, man, the money is going to be in Indianapolis. So for all you people talking about, oh, it's going to come to Auburn, it's going to go here, it's going to go there, it's going to Indy. That's why I believe that eventually, when the final decision is made, it'll be in Indianapolis. So for those of you who live in Indy, guess what's coming to your town? And for those of you who live in Auburn, who live in Lafayette, or live in the east side, where the heck they were looking at that other one, don't worry, folks. They're not coming to your town because Indy, downtown Indy, in my humble opinion, will become the sole recipient of a new casino located downtown in the old Circle Square shopping center. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. But right now, I'm going to put my money on I'm right.